Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be doing revision tips because I have got my exams coming up in a month and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people in the country do, and I just thought it'd be a good idea to film a video to do with this because I did one last year but that was only for like my science exams and I wasn't that experienced with revision, whereas I actually have revised a lot more now. Let's get on with the video. By the way, I am testing a new camera like setup thing, like it's the same camera but I was playing around with the settings and I managed to figure out how to make things brighter, like when you adjust the exposure settings or something, and it makes it a lot brighter. So whereas before I had quite like good dark background, now it should be lighter. It should all look kind of like more summery, I don't know. So the first thing I would definitely recommend is getting one of these. This is my revision folder and inside I just have all of my key subjects. I have maths, English language, business, Islamic ethics, Christian ethics, chemistry, biology, physics, English literature, media, IT, and just miscellaneous, which is like paper and poly wallets and things. So I'm going to go through each of these subjects and suggest ways that you can revise for them. I'm sorry if this doesn't apply to you. If it doesn't, then switch off the video now. But those are the options that I took. I also took photography, but you can't really revise for photography. So the first category I have in here is maths. Now for maths, I don't tend to use this that much. I tend to go to the OCR website and print off past papers and do them, or I tend to use kind of online resources for maths because I feel I work better doing that instead of just like writing out like textbook things, because the only way you can improve at maths is by doing maths. So I go onto the OCR website. Yours might be AQA or EdXL or whatever it is, but I think mine's either OCR. I think it is OCR, and there are loads of past papers that you can click from, and you like go down. Wait, is it OCR? It's one of them. You go down and you select June 2012, June 2013, and it just comes up with lots of them. I find these extremely helpful because the maths exams are really hard, and there's like 2 hour and 3/4 exams, and so you have to remember a lot of things, and like it's all very well knowing the start of it, but as soon as you get past like the staples, that's when it gets really tricky. So I tend to skip just to the staples and do the kind of B, A star work because I'm top set, but I still don't understand any of like the work that's A or A star. Like I'm about a B. The second thing I would recommend is definitely going on Sam Learning on your laptop, or going on My Maths, or just any kind of website like BBC Bite Size that gives you practice questions. Like you can revise the knowledge towards maths, but the only way you'll actually get better at doing the exam stuff is by preparing for it, because even if you know how to do the math stuff, it won't work unless you put context behind. Right, next subject, English language. English language is quite a hard one to revise for. Again, I would say past papers are your best friend for this one. Go onto the AQA website and just literally print off past paper after past paper after past paper and just do them, because that's the only way you'll get better. However, I do think there are other ways that you can revise. For instance, you can learn the vocabulary needed to annotate things, and you can do other things like that. There are revision guides available, and I've got some of them. Like I've got some old ones that my cousin handed me down, but I just think you should mainly do past papers for English language, just because if you don't know it, then it's really obvious that you don't know it. Business is one that I don't tend to struggle with that much. Like it's mainly just definitions and putting those towards the case study that we got given. Like our case study is like for some AFL thing, like Aaron Furniture, I don't know, and you have to just apply definitions to things and like market structure and break-even graphs and things like that. Like you just have to remember the definitions, and then you have to look for them in the case study and apply it from that. Other than that, it's really simple, and I don't think there's many ways you can revise business. As long as you're like 100% sure on the definitions, then you're good to go. Right, next ones are Islamic ethics and Christian ethics. So I feel like RE is the main one that you can either do amazingly at or rubbishly at. Like I can do really well in RE if I know the key quotes and like how to put them into the relevant detail. You can't naturally like remember things without revising, but it's the sort of thing that you can do the night before, and that sounds bad, and obviously you need to revise things beforehand, but I need to cram in lots of RE revision the night before because that's the main way I'll remember things, and also like re-jog my memory over time. But like as long as you know the religious key definitions,
then you're basically sorted. Just don't use love your neighbour for everything, and certainly don't use Christian quotes for Islamic or Judaism or whatever you do, and don't do vice versa. Like, that's a mistake I've made before. Next section is science. I have one of these books and it's just got everything in, because my exam, I did B1, P1 and C1 last year, and this year I'm doing AQA Science, Additional Science, and that's B2, C2, P2, and you've just literally got to remember the textbook off by heart. Like, there's no other way you can do it. Like, you can use online resources, I definitely say. I use Sam Learning on my laptop a lot, but you need to make sure that you're using the correct thing. But I would definitely recommend, I said this in my revision video last year, but down the side there are these key points, and like, I don't know if that makes sense, but it has all of like this summarized. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't learn some of this, because some of the stuff that's here isn't here and it will come up in the exam, but definitely remember these key points and like take note. I can't find it. Like, some of them have examiner's tips, and those things are likely to come up in the exam. English literature. This exam I am quite worried about. Like, I'm worried about English language because that's something that I'm taking as an A-level, as I am with business and media. But English literature is the one that I'm most concerned about that isn't an option that I'm choosing, because I'm naturally not great at English. Like, I need to do lots of thinking to do it, but if I revise then I can do well in it. So I would definitely say, if you're doing the books that I'm doing Spectacles and Of Mice and Men. Those two books are heavily, like, there's lots of resources for them, if that makes sense. On YouTube there are many different videos and like YouTubers that do specific videos for that, and there's obviously BBC Bite Size. I find BBC Bite Size is very helpful for Spectacles and Of Mice and Men, just purely because they're the two popular ones, and there are many like themes and character notes that you can get on there that you might not have even got in class. BBC Bite Size is most helpful for English, I find. And then there are also revision things again on Sam Learning. Like, Sam Learning should be a thing that's provided by your school, and if it's not, then I'd be surprised. Like, most people have Sam Learning, and you can rack up hours on there. Like, I think I'm 19th in the year. Take detailed notes. That's my main piece of advice for anything. Like, take detailed notes and like make them colourful, and use like pens like these. Like, just make keywords stand out and you'll do fine. Like, as long as you remember those keywords, obviously. Like, don't take notes and not remember them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please give this video a thumbs up, a comment down below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. I put a lot of effort into these videos that you probably don't realise. But yeah, please hit the subscribe button. I don't know if it's here, or here. I sound like an airplane person. But anyway, I will see you guys next week with another video. Peace. Goodbye.